Yes, everybody. Yes, welcome back to another episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear, and then we discuss them over a glass of wine. Is this your first time at the rodeo? I'm Patrick M. Dunn. Perhaps you know me from the previous episodes. And I'm joined here, as always, by the one, the only, Catherine Elizabeth Halstead, the author.
Hello!
Yes, we are back in the New York groove, and we're ready to rip, roar, and roll. This is our post, we're finally done with Halloween episode. We got it out of our system. We just want to get back to a normal life, normal shows, normal things, and I don't know, what better way to do it than what we're going to do tonight, right? Am I right?
Exactly. Because nothing is more normal than this show.
Right. So if you've been listening to the podcast for the last, 4 years, right? 4 years?
Yeah.
4 years. So for some reason, it happened by accident at first, but then we just kept up with it. We always come out of Halloween with a fantasy sequence episode. And I think we hit the mother load of fantasy sequence episodes, because this is not only a fantasy sequence episode, it's the end of a string of episodes that ended up being a dream, right?
This is the ultimate dream within a dream.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that until I watched this episode. And then I was like, wait a second, is this the episode in which we find out that the previous 12 episodes has been a dream? And
exactly.
This is it. I even confirmed it on Wikipedia, our go-to source for information. So without further ado, Kat Halstead, the author, I think you should drop the name. What are we watching tonight? For the first time? Not in our lives, but to discuss on a podcast.
No, definitely not in our lives. So for the first time for this podcast, we are diving into the wild, ridiculous, real world of Married with Children.
Yes, it's a wonderful life, girl. It's a wonderful life, and we're finally there. We get to hang with Al and Peg and Kelly and Bud and Buck the dog and Marcy, and we get, Jefferson's in the cast, but he's not in this episode, right? We're in a...
Yeah, there's no Jefferson in this episode.
No, but he's in the opening creds, and it's a great time. All right, top of the hour, fuck, marry, kill, you ready?
Oh, God.
All right, Married with Children edition. We're going to do the hot older adult edition. We got Al Bundy, Poke High superhero. 4 touchdowns in a single game or something?
Yeah.
We also got Jefferson Pretty Boy Darcy, who lives next door. He might be in the CIA, we don't know. And Steve Rhodes. Ooga. What would you do? Who would you fuck? Who would you spend a wild night with and just romp all night long? Who would you marry, spend your days out with? Or who would you just just kick in a ditch and bury in a shallow grave? Who, Kat Halstead, the author?
I would totally fuck Jefferson Darcy.
Oh yeah, Jefferson Pretty Boy Darcy's getting laid tonight by Kat Halstead, the author. She's gonna ride him like a cowboy. Ooga. Someone's getting laid on this show, and it's not Bud, it's not Al, it's not Peg, it's Jefferson. And it's not with Marcy. AKA Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You weren't ready for that, were you?
No. Oh my God.
I think you should see your face. I've never seen Kat Halstead, the author, with a red face, but I did it. I don't know. She's got a little secret crush for Ted McGinley out there, ruining shows and ruining lives.
You've never seen me turn red? Oh.
I don't know.
I turn red at work all the time.
Maybe not during a fuck, marry, kill here.
Okay.
Ooh, who knew she had these hidden feelings for Jefferson Pretty Boy Darcy? Ooga. I'm going to ship that couple.
Anyways, I would probably marry Steve.
What? Girl, what? Steve?
Because then I could give Al what he wants, and that is an eternity alone.
So you just want to just kick Al to... Well, I guess so. He has, stinky feet. He probably, sucks at sex, and...
I don't
know, but wouldn't you be afraid that Steve would walk out on you? Aren't you afraid of that, girl?
I got Jefferson for the fun stuff, so...
That's true. I mean, you could be the new Marcy.
Well, shucks.
They're going to do the Married with Children reboot and move over Amanda Bears because Kat Halstead, the author, she's going to now be known as Kat Halstead, the actor. She's going to be Marcy. She's going to work at a bank, cash checks, open accounts, maybe write a loan or two. You can write a mortgage for Griff. Al's other friend from the shoe store, Griff.
Oh my gosh.
But I guess I'd see your answers. I mean, I'd probably marry Elle, but at the same time, I kind of like see myself. I feel like I see it from Peg's perspective, and she's like, "Oh God, like what did I get myself into, girl? I could have married Jefferson, pretty boy Darcy, and here I am with a shoe salesman." Does Jefferson have a job? Does he work?
No, he's a white-collar criminal.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe he's in the CIA, too, right? Wasn't that like another hot episode?
No one really knows, like, who Jefferson really is.
Yeah, I know. We didn't get closure from the show, so we don't know. We'll never know, girl.
Yeah.
We'll never know unless they bring it back. We get like a hot revival episode. And a move over the Connors. The Bundys are coming back.
That would be wild.
All right. Before we get into tonight's episode, titled Al Bundy's Shoe Dick from the 6th season. Do you want to do This Night in History, or do you want to do like fun Bundy facts?
Well, let's do This Night in History.
Do you got the air date? Do you got it? Do you need me to say it?
Crap. No, I don't have it.
All right, I got it. It's November 24th, 1991. It's almost the anniversary, girl.
Oh my gosh.
This is a wild night of television. I know I say this every time, but legit, I think this night might take the cake.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to start with? You want to start with the alphabet, ABC?
Yeah, let's... Excuse me, let's start with the alphabet.
You all right over there? We choking on Jefferson Darcy's huge cock.
Oh my God, no.
He was sneaking in mid-podcast and giving him a BJ.
Oh my God, you make me sound awful.
It's all in good fun, girl. Don't hashtag me to me. If you're going to hashtag me to anybody, it's going to be Jefferson Pretty Boy Darcy because he leaves you. He leaves you for a chicken? What does Al call her? A chicken?
Something like that. I don't even know anymore.
You ready? You ready for ABC?
Yes.
All right. We got a 7 o'clock slot. You ready for the 7 p.m. slot? Do you have any guesses? Any wild guesses?
No, I have no guesses.
All right. Life Goes On. A full hour of Life Goes On.
Okay, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, you've never seen it apparently? Like you just kind of like passed it over?
Yeah, I never like actually watched it, and I got the Chad confused with the other Chad.
Oh, it was like Chad Lowe and Chad... I don't know.
I don't even remember what the other one was named. Hold on.
I feel like there's not that...
Where the hell is IMDb to help me?
There's not that many Chads, though. I don't know. Hanging Chad?
There was a bunch of Chads back in the day.
It's
because I had him confused with the guy from My Two Dads.
Oh, it's not like the two Corys?
Chad Allen.
Oh.
Chad Allen.
You know what? And I think he said this like 25 episodes ago, and I was like, I still don't know who that is. I don't know. They're not synonymous, the two names. Like they're not like the two Corys, like Corey Feldman and Corey Haim.
No.
Corey from the Corey Hotline.
Chad Allen went on to star in Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
Oh yeah, we talked about that, didn't we?
Maybe.
Flashback. All right. So, in case you don't know what Life Goes On is, it's the trials and tribulations of the Thatcher family. The show starred Bill Smitrovich and Patti LuPone as the parents, and everyone's favorite Kelly Martin as Becca.
Okay.
Becca Thatcher. She was like, it was like early 90s was like Kelly Martin mania. She was all over the place. She was on ER. She was on Christie. Shout out to Christie. And like, I don't know, 47 Lifetime movies maybe?
A bunch of Hallmark movies. She's got like a couple series.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, I don't know, maybe does she do any Christmas flicks? Any holiday flicks?
Yeah, she has some Christmas movies.
Ooh, maybe we gotta add that to the list, Kat. Add that to the list.
We gotta go over the list later, boo.
We do. We'll talk post-show. You ready for ABC 8 p.m.?
Yes, please.
All right, sit back and enjoy America's Funniest Power Hour because we have America's Funniest Home Videos and America's Funniest People. So we get Saget and Coulier.
Hold on.
Back to back.
So the night starts with this family drama.
Yes.
And goes into America's Funniest Home Videos and Funniest People.
Yes, and then it goes into a really dark ABC 9 p.m. made-for-TV movie. You ready for that? You ready for a hot made-for-TV movie?
Oh my God.
All right.
Hold on, let me get the Google machine up so I can find it to watch it later.
You gotta find this because we got some fucking stars in this. This is fucking star night here at ABC. They probably spent a shitload of money for Dead and Alive. You ready for Dead and Alive?
Okay.
All right, before I give you the synopsis, can I just read you the hot cast? Mm-hmm. The hot cast. All right, starring Tony Danza.
What?
Ted Levine, and wait. Bailey from Party of Five's wrestling coach, Mr. Dan Lauria himself.
What?
In a made-for-TV movie. And you ready for the synopsis?
Yes.
All right. A small-time drug dealer becomes the target of a manhunt When he kills a federal agent, the cops want him alive for the murder of their friend, and the mob wants him dead for knowing too much. Ooh.
Whoa.
Mona, they're after me. Save me, Mona. Who's the boss now, Tony? Who's the boss now?
Josh Groban.
You ready for CBS? You want to go over to the Tiffany Network?
Yes, please.
See what America's Eye's up to? Do you have any ideas about CBS 7 p.m.?
Murder, She Wrote?
No! I ask you this like every time we do a Sunday night show at 7 p.m. 60 minutes, girl. 60 minutes.
60. For some reason in my head, I think 60 Minutes is on at 6 p.m.
No, maybe in like your fucking shitty like Mountain Standard Time, but out here on the East Coast, girl, it's on 7 p.m. week to week. All right. But 8 p.m. Murder, She Wrote. And are you ready? I have the synopsis for tonight's episode. You ready for it?
Okay.
All right. This is a long one. You ready? Just brace yourself.
I'm ready.
All right. Tonight's episode is called A Killin' in Vegas. So, ooga. So, Jessica Fletcher's leaving town because there's too many bodies racking up in Cabot Cove. Jessica swings over to Las Vegas to attend a major book convention, and she agrees to get in touch with Susan Hartley, the daughter of a friend. Susan's working as a cocktail waitress at McSurley's Hotel and Casino, where her boyfriend, Eddie Wheaton, works as a card dealer, when suddenly the casino's manager, Jerry Pappas, dies from a fall from his penthouse apartment. Eddie, who's already been caught skimming chips at the blackjack table, is arrested. Oh, my God. And then working with the casino's security chief, Larry Thorson, and Las Vegas Police Department, Jessica thinks there are a number of holes in the investigation and sets out to solve the crime herself. So, ooga.
Oh, but of course.
Yeah.
But of course. Jessica Fletcher shows up somewhere, someone dies, and then she has to solve the case.
Yep.
Of course, Jessica Fletcher. Of course.
Yeah, just go see fucking Paula Poundstone live or something. Or fucking Celine Dion or like In the Zone, Britney Spears or whoever the 1990
whatever.
Whoever the 1991 Britney Spears was, Vanessa Williams maybe. Maybe she had a residency.
No, it wasn't even something like that. It was like Stephen Eady.
Whatever. I don't know. But guess who wasn't the murderer?
Just go see Wayne Newton. Go see Wayne Newton or Tom Jones. Throw your panties on stage, Jessica Fletcher, and let some people live.
Or just fucking stay in Cabot Cove. Just stay in Cabot Cove. Don't leave home. You know what? They need to throw Jessica Fletcher in a fucking prison cell, throw away the key, let her live out her days.
See how many people die in Cabot Cove if she's locked up.
Oh, the murder rates have declined since we locked up Jessica Fletcher and threw away the key.
Yep.
The Hannibal Lecter room where she has to wear a mask. And every now and then Jodie Foster comes and visits her. You ready for CBS 9 o'clock?
Yes, please.
All right, we got a special 2 hours of the very best of Ed Sullivan.
Okay.
Must have been some kind of anniversary or something, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
So for all you young millennials out there, the Ed Sullivan Show was an American television variety show that ran on CBS from 1948 to 1971. It was hosted by New York entertainment columnist Ed Sullivan. And I don't know, we've probably got some hot clips of, maybe the Beatles or an Elvis appearance, or the Supremes, or
oh, yeah.
that time that Bo Diddley came on and was supposed to sing 16 Tons, but instead sang a different song, and it was controversial.
Yeah, I'm sure they definitely had the Elvis clip. They 100% had the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
And just random other stuff of famous people who are still famous in 1991.
Yeah, every now and then I used to would watch those Ed Sullivan introspectives on TV Land maybe. I don't know who used to have those little Ed Sullivan introspectives. You would always see him at 6 o'clock in the morning on some random channel.
I don't know. I don't remember.
This was back when this was back in
You mean the infomercials for the DVD or VHSs or whatever?
Okay, all right. You ready for Fox? You ready for Fox, girl? You ready to go over to the new network?
As ready as I can be.
The new hot network that's just tearing up the town. All right, we get 7 p.m. Fox, are you familiar with a show called True Colors?
True Colors. Why do I know that name?
It was on for 2 years. This was an American sitcom that aired on Fox. The series was created by Michael J. Whitehorn. And it was a show about an interracial family.
Okay.
I guess it was okay. Critically acclaimed. Who knows? I don't know. I know nothing about it.
I probably watched it.
Yeah, probably. Because I definitely was watching what was on at 7:30. Do you have any wild guesses?
No idea.
Parker Lewis can't lose.
Yes! my boo!
He definitely may be on our radar, so we'll get into that shortly.
Parker Lewis, I love you!
Fox 8 p.m. in Living Color. Ooh, girl, the Wayans Bros.
Okay.
And Jim Carrey and David Allen Greer and Jamie Foxx, maybe, at this point. I don't know.
Jennifer Lopez dancing or whatever.
Yeah, as a fly girl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready for Fox 8:30?
Yes, please.
Charles S. Dutton's Rock.
Okay, I remember that show.
Yeah, they used to do it live sometimes. Because, like, I guess a lot of the actors were, like, stage actors, and I don't know, they were like, hey, we can do it.
Yeah.
And it was a popular show, but I don't know, for some reason it just kind of, like, fizzled very quickly. I don't know, it disappeared. You don't really hear much about it anymore.
That's true, you really don't.
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's not on.
Like, everybody talks about Martin or Living Single. They never talk about Rock.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need like a Rock revival. Like Amazon Prime needs to like throw it on there. We can get excited. I'll send you out like a text at like 4 a.m. I'll be like, hey, Kat Halstead, the author, Rock is on Amazon Prime, and you'll send me like a 7 exclamation points in a row, and then we'll never watch it.
Because that's exactly who we are, and that is exactly how he texts me, guys. He will be Kat Halstead, the author. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, the Rock, not the Rock, just regular Rock is on Amazon Prime, and you go, ooh, okay, and then like we'll have to watch this next weekend, and then we never watch it.
Yeah,
something more exciting like drops instead.
Exactly.
Fox 9 p.m. Do you have any guesses? Any wild guesses?
Married with Children.
Hell yeah! Any guesses for 9:30?
The Tracy Ullman Show.
No, Herdman's Head.
No,
Herdman's Head, girl.
Oh, which we found. We found full episodes.
So that may be on the horizon. So Yeardley Smith, get ready to do a guest appearance on our podcast.
And I legit did watch them. I promise I actually watched them. I was like, oh my god, I freaked out. Like, there's a whole YouTube channel with full episodes of Herman's Head.
I haven't watched it yet, but I'm gearing up. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it after record. Maybe we'll have a Herman's Head weekend.
Yeah, probably not.
All Herman, all head. Yeah, probably not. I'll forget. All right. You want to end things off with the Peacock?
Yes.
NBC also has a 7 o'clock slot. This was like a wild, daring time for 7 o'clock shows.
Oh, gosh.
And we got a full hour, yes, girl, a full hour of the Torkelsons.
Whoa.
Yes, callback to like old days. So this might be the first time we've talked about it, right? I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the pod.
It might actually be the first time we've actually talked about it, and now I've got, like, the theme song in my head.
All right, because I was going to ask you, like, did you regularly watch a show like I did?
Okay, so I watched it a little bit on NBC, and then, like, its reboot of Almost Home.
On the Disney Channel?
And no, because that was on NBC as well.
Oh.
But then I definitely watched it like a million times on Disney Channel.
They didn't like cancel it, but they just like took it off the schedule, so there were just like a bunch of like unaired episodes.
Yeah.
And then I think like Disney just aired a bunch of them. And it was on like not that many episodes, like maybe altogether like 4 seasons.
Really, I was gonna guess 3 seasons.
But I don't think they were like full like 22 seasons. I think they were like those like abbreviated years. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just remember like
maybe
people talked about it, but I don't know. Like it didn't catch on. So. For anyone who's unaware, this was like a show about like, did it take place in like Oklahoma or like one of those like Midwestern states?
As a single mother of 5, Mrs. Millicent Torkelson is a do-it-yourselfer with a flair for finding ingenious ways to make ends meet, making the best of things.
Yeah, and I don't know, there's like 11 kids. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of kids for some reason.
There's a lot of kids, and like it starred Connie Ray as Millicent, Olivia Burnett as Dorothy Jane Torkelson, who's like the oldest daughter.
Oh yeah, Dorothy Jane.
You get Lee Norris, a.k.a. Minkus.
Oh!
Or Mouth.
That's right.
It had like some really random, like a bunch of these people a bunch of these kids don't even have pictures on IMDb.
Oh yeah. I just remember like there being a lot of children in this, and I don't know if they were like family members or friends.
William Schallert.
Yeah.
As like this guy who rented a room, and like he is like one of those actors who's done like a million things.
He's like the creepy downstairs neighbor.
Like he wasn't even creepy.
Was he like the Cody on Step by Step to the show?
No, he was like the wise older, like he was the Feeny.
Oh, like the Mr. Wilson from next door.
Yeah. But he's one of those actors who does like a million things. I'm trying to figure out what he's most famous for, but I have to go through almost 400 listings.
All right, how about this? If anyone knows who William Schallert is and what he's like mostly known for, tweet us at Very Podcast. And I don't know, we'll give you a special shout out on our next episode, maybe. Or maybe we'll send you a trinket. Hal said we'll send you a trinket in the mail.
He was on the Patty Duke show.
Oh, who was he on the Patty Duke?
Martin Lane, Kenneth Lane, Uncle Jed Lane.
Oh.
He did 104 episodes, so he was like the dad.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Shout out to him, I guess, for being on 104 episodes of the Patty Duke show. I don't know. Twin cousins, kissing cousins.
Not kissing, identical. Identical cousins. Do, do, do.
Am I thinking about that Elvis Presley movie?
Yeah.
Which I totally watched like 4 days ago, by the way, too.
Oh my god. I love how random you are.
It was on Turner Classic Movies. It was on like the same night as Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte. So I was like, ooh, maybe I'll watch. I'll do like a back-to-back. Had a fun night at home.
Oh my
Watching
gosh.
movies that are like 40 years older than me.
Oh my gosh.
You ready to end the night on NBC? We got 2 more things to get through, girl.
Bring it to me.
We got work to do. All right. Hot Country Nights. 8 p.m. Hot Country Nights. Do you know this?
No, I don't.
This was like, it was on for a little while, like a couple of months. It basically was like a musical show, and it was country acts, but they also like threw in comedy, like blue collar comedy. So like sometimes you had like Tim Allen or like Jeff Dunham doing like comedy in between the hot acts of the day.
I feel like it would have been Jeff Foxworthy.
Larry the Cable Guy, maybe.
Bill Engvall.
You got room for one more time? You got room for one more?
Maybe, yeah.
All right, we got a made-for-TV movie from 9 to 11. You ready for it? You ready for the title, the stars, and then the description?
I guess I have to. Let's hit it.
Right. Deception, a mother's secret. And you want to hear a hot-ass scoop about this?
Yes.
We're getting competing Who's the Boss stars on TV movies tonight, because this movie stars Katherine Hellman, who plays Mona, and Steven Weber. This is a recent widower legally attempts to adopt a stepson and slowly uncovers the horrifying truth that the boy was kidnapped at the age of 2 by his late wife. He ultimately is torn between keeping the child or returning him to his natural parents. Ooga.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I don't know, Mona's up to no good tonight.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
So who's the boss now, girl? Who's the boss now?
Josh Groban, I told you.
Josh Groban wasn't alive yet. Or was he? I don't even know how old he is.
I think he was. I don't think Josh Groban's that old.
Well, that's that night of television, November 24th, 1991. Wild Times in the US of A. Wild Times.
It's up on YouTube.
Yes. Well, maybe we'll watch it this weekend after we watch Herman's Head.
Oh my god, I'm not leaving this page because I am totally watching that.
Oh yeah. Link it to me.
Okay.
Send me a hot link, girl. We'll add it to the list.
I will.
Add it to the list, Kat Halstead. All right.
Add it to the list.
All right. You ready to get bundified?
I think I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right. Well, before we go into Chicago, I just want to blow through some Bundy facts. You ready to get some Bundy facts?
Okay, go for it.
Married with Children only became successful after a family activist started a letter-writing campaign complaining about the show's subject matter and anti-family values. The story put the show in the media spotlight and then therefore turned it into a huge-ass hit. So, ooga. So shout out to, like, that shitty family activist that was like, I'm going to get this show canceled.
Like, it probably would have been canceled, lady.
Yep, so fuck you.
But, you had to make a stink and give it publicity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So fuck you, it's 30 years later, we're talking about it. 2 buffoons are talking about it. We probably would have never even known it was. Am I right, girl?
Right, like, if, honestly, I don't think I started watching until it was, like, in some sort of syndication.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, I caught it on a Sunday night when I was getting ready for bed and I had my little black and white TV on in my room or something.
Yeah, because I know my parents used to watch it. They would send me to bed at, like, 8:30, 9-ish. Mm-hmm. And then I would be, like, laying in my bedroom and I would hear, like, my mom and dad laughing. And I'm like, what are they laughing at? I need to know. And I would, like, sneak out of the room. And I would, like, sometimes just watch little snippets of it. And most of the jokes went over my head, but I don't know, I still thought it was funny. And then, like, 4 or 5 years later, all of a sudden it showed up in syndication. And I was like, ooh, this is the show, the forbidden show that I'm not allowed to watch. And
yeah, it's one of those shows you weren't allowed to watch. I don't think my parents actually watched it.
so they didn't, like, understand it.
Like, my mom watched it, like, once it was in syndication because my brother and I were watching it. But my dad, no way in hell did he watch this.
He missed out. That's all I gotta say. He missed out.
But to be fair, my dad was not really, like, a sitcom person.
He liked the Waltons, like Dallas, maybe.
Not even that. Like, if he was watching TV, it was sports.
Or, like, Bob Vila, This Old House.
Yes, Bob Vila, This Old House, or, like, a cooking show. Like, maybe a movie. Like, I remember the first time I watched, like, It's a Wonderful Life or A Christmas Story was because my dad had them on in the kitchen.
Oh, he liked the classics. He's watching Kissing Cousins.
No, that was something my mom would watch.
All right, you ready for the next Bundy fact?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the working title for the show, while it was first in production, was Not the Cosbys.
Because they are the anti-Cosbys.
Yeah, so fuck you, Bill Cosby. Fuck you. I hope you rot in jail, girl. Hope you're, like, fucking eating your pudding pops, or, like, your off-brand pudding pops, because they don't want to fucking give you real pudding pops.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
You ready for the next, you ready for the most funnest fact of the whole show?
Yes.
Ed O'Neill is the only cast member to appear in all 260 episodes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wild stuff. All right. Before Katie Seagal and Ed O'Neill were attached to the project, they wanted Sam Kinison and Roseanne Barr to play Alan Pegg.
It never would have made it.
No, but Sam Kinison does appear in one episode. It's a Bundle for Life, like the Christmas one.
Yes.
Shortly after the show went off the air, Ed O'Neill revealed that he never got along with Amanda Bears, the actress who played Marcy. So, like real life.
Yeah, I was going to say, that doesn't surprise me. Like, just with interviews I've seen of her, there's, like...
Tension.
A pretentiousness.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. She kind of disappeared.
And...
I don't know. Like, what's she up to? Like, does she work at a bank?
That's because she does, like, stuff behind the camera.
Oh, yeah. She's a director, right? Didn't she, like, direct a bunch of episodes of Married Children?
Yeah, she does.
I vaguely remember that. All right. This was my favorite of all the fun facts. And it's the final one. I saved the best for last.
Okay.
Call back to my Vanessa Williams joke from earlier in the show.
Okay.
When Ed O'Neill got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it was placed in front of a shoe store. Oh!
Oh, that. Way to go. Way to go.
Oh, no, it was Gary's shoes.
Oh, my gosh. Haha.
You ready? You ready to get into Al Bundy's shoe dick?
Yeah. As ready as I can be.
I think before we get into the episode, we should do a preamble. So season 6 started with Katie Seagal in real life, I guess between season 5 and 6, discovered that she was pregnant. So they were like, all right, we'll just write into the show.
Yeah.
I guess this was like Jefferson was fresh on the show, and so they decided to make Marcy pregnant also. So like the first 10 episodes of the season,
yeah,
Peg and Marcy are simultaneously pregnant. Katie Seagal suffered a miscarriage. So there's a few episodes where Katie Seagal's not in it. So they did a weird episode where Kelly Bundy goes to LA. It was like a 2 or 3 part episode. And then their first episode back was this one, and it was very Katie Seagal light. Like her only scenes are her laying in bed. So this must have been her first day back at work, but she's like, all right, I'm gonna go easy on the feet.
Okay, that makes sense.
So all right, so this is how we roll into tonight's episode. Al and Peg are lying in bed. I don't know, they're low on cash, they're low on money.
So the norm.
And Peg thinks that Al should get a second job, and Al just makes this weird face, and he pulls out this book about suicide, which is actually a real book.
Are you serious? That's a real book?
Yeah, I saw this on the Wikipedia page for the episode. It says the book that Al pulled out was called Final Exit, a guide to how to kill yourself. And it was a book that came out around this time that was controversial. And Al was reading that book, and then he puts his head down, and then we get a quick cut scene. And it's I guess that's supposed to be him the next day, and he walks into a private detective.
Well, you forgot the part where Peg is mad at Al because in her dream he didn't have a second job.
Oh, okay. Sorry, girl.
Yeah, because that leads to this part. She's like, more families are 2-income families, and he's like, that's when both spouses work.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, well, I'm mad at you. And he's like, why? And he's like, because I had a dream that you got offered the second job and you didn't take it. And he's just like, you mean to fucking tell me, Peg, that you're now mad at me for things you dream about? And she's just like, yeah.
And he's grumbling. He looks at the book.
And we get a cut scene, and it's supposed to be the next day or whatever. And he stumbles into a private detective's office, and he's like, I'm here for the job. And the guy's like, you think you're cut out for it? And he's like, yeah, I think I can handle it. And then the guy just hands him a mop and bucket.
Yeah, a mop and bucket. And Al is dressed in a really nice suit. Well, a nice suit for Al.
Like a film noir suit, he's going to go on it, he's going on a case on the prowl. They made a play off that he was going to be a private detective, but he was really just applying to be the janitor. So the private detective leaves the room. He's going to go work or something. So Al sits down at the desk and he's like, oh, I could totally be a private detective. And he's just kind of like dreaming of like what that life would be like. Mm-hmm. And then in walks in Traci fucking Lords. Traci Lords, everybody.
The one, the only Traci Lords.
Yes. And this was like peak Traci Lords. This is like her at her, like probably the prime of her popularity, right? Would you say?
This is like before Melrose Place, but after Crybaby.
So for all young millennials out there who might not know who Traci Lords is, shall we have like a Traci Lords corner right now? Shall we get into it?
Go for it.
So Traci Lords, prior to, I guess, being on Married with Children, prior to be in a John Waters movie in Melrose Place, she was a porn star. But she lied about her age. She said she was like over the age of 18 and she was really like, what, like 16 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
But she filmed like dozens of movies and they were like widely in circulation. And then it was discovered and it like completely changed like the porno industry after that. Like then they started doing, they actually started cracking down and like, oh, like maybe we should like actually check people's IDs and make them submit like birth certificates and stuff. And they're just not some like random hot chick that just came off the street. But the damage was done. Those videos were out there. They were floating. They're like still out there, I think, right?
Probably. Let's be real.
They're probably on the internet. So she kind of became this like notorious like figurehead. And then when she became of age, she decided like she wanted to go on like the straight and narrow, and she wanted to like scandalous past behind her. And she wanted to like go legitimate. John Waters hired her for like Crybaby. She did like a few like random TV roles. I even think she pursued like a music career at some point in time.
Yes.
And
so it's not, yeah, because actress, singer, model, writer, producer, director is on her occupation on Wikipedia.
Yeah, and didn't she like write a few books too? Maybe.
Yeah.
She popped in something recently. I'm trying to think. What did I see her in? Do you have her page up?
Yeah, I have her page up.
All right. What's the what has she done in the last like 6 or 7 years? I feel like I've seen her in something.
Sharkanis, Women's Prison Massacre, Cemetery Tales Presents A Tale of Two Sisters, Tag.
Is that the John Hamm, Andy Bernard from?
No.
Oh.
Because this one's from 2015.
Oh, that's definitely not the John Hamm movie.
She was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
That's what I saw her in. Zack and Miri Make a Porno, that Kevin Smith movie. Okay, I knew I started something fairly recently.
Yeah.
From what I remember, when she read, Kevin Smith sent her the script for like Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and she thought it was going to be like, she thought it was going to be like a porno movie.
You know what? She's in that series on Pop TV called Swedish Dicks.
What?
Swedish Dicks. It's starring Peter Stormare and Keanu Reeves.
Why don't I know about this?
I don't know.
Give me a description of what this is about. Keanu Reeves?
Swedish Dicks is an American-Swedish comedy web television series created by Peter Stormare, Glenn Lund, Peter Sutman, and Andrew Lurie. The plot follows two unlicensed Swedish private investigators trying to make a living in Los Angeles.
Do you think they saw this episode of Married Children and were like, you know what? Do you know who we need for this? Do you know who would like really make this shine? Traci Lords.
There's 2 seasons, 20 episodes.
Ooh. So is this currently on or is this like done?
It's still being released, I guess.
Ooh, well stuff. All right. She was also on, remember that Ali Walker show, The Profiler?
Yeah.
She had like a regular role in that. She was like one of the serial killers, like the recurrent serial killers that they were trying to catch.
She also did an episode of Roseanne.
So, ooga to Traci Lords.
So she was like popular.
Yeah, because...
But not super popular.
She was like under the radar popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like she had a following.
Yeah.
Everyone probably didn't know who she was. It wasn't like every Tom, Dick, and Jane knew who Traci Lords was.
Yeah.
She kind of like flew her freak flag. She kind of like a certain type of person was into her.
Like she has her very devoted fan base
that followed her no matter what. Like followed her on her like 7 episode stint on Melrose Place.
Yeah, apparently there's only 4 episodes.
Oh, that's it? It seemed like she was on it a lot longer.
And honestly, I had her confused with the other girl from Crybaby.
Really?
Who was on the first season of Melrose Place.
Oh,
and then they, like, wrote her out, like, really fast.
Amy Locane or whatever? Was that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that one.
Shout out to Amy Locane. What are you up to today? Where are you, girl? Call us. Send us a tweet at Frame Podcast. I'll put you in the show notes. Maybe maybe we'll get... Amy Locane's fiance will send us a tweet, just like what's his name from Growing Pains? Jerry Miller, friend of the show.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. If Amy Locane is on Twitter, she is hiding.
she's like Amy Joe, or like whatever her like middle name is or something.
Yeah, like, okay.
Take us back into Al Bundy's shoe dick. Where are we? We just got introduced to what was her name? Like Vanessa Van Pelt.
Something ridiculous like that. So this sexpot shows up.
Femme fatale.
She thinks that Al is a private investigator, but that he's also a moron. She has this whole thing where she has this super rich uncle. He's got this really precious diamond, and she's afraid that one of her cousins is going to try and kill him, and she wants him to be protected. So she wants Al to come and, like, hang out at this family dinner.
Yeah, the Pharaoh's Eye, I think is what it's called, right? The Pharaoh's Eye. Ooh, God.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it gets very, like, Clue-ish, and that Edgar Allan Poe thing that we did a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Where it's like a dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the typical, like, 1800s, like, rich man's dining room where there's, like, books on the shelf. There's this, like, long, fancy-ass table. There's a chandelier. There's, like, butlers. It's just this, like, weird dinner. That long table that you only see, like, on, like, rich people movies and series.
Yeah, there's, like, no card tables extending this thing.
No, it's just long-ass table. This, like, there's, like, what, like, 8 to 10 family members gathered around this table.
Yeah.
And at the head of the table is this, like, dying old man. He's, like, old as fuck. He's, like, 100. He's bald and wrinkly. And, like, placed in the middle of the table is this, like, shiny gem. And he's, like, talking about what's going to happen, like, when he dies. He's, like, revealing, like, the latest contents of his will. And, like, just as he's about to say, like, what's going to happen, the lights dim. The lights go out.
Because, of course.
And then all of a sudden, like, you hear, like, a scream. This woman, like, that's sitting down, this, like, brunette girl just yells, like, my breasts! Who's touching my breasts?
Who's touching my breasts?
The lights come back on. You see, like, this kind of, like, guilty look on Al's face because he totally grabbed that woman's breasts.
Of course. Like, okay, Al Bundy is 100% a misogynistic pig. There's no denying.
Yeah, he started No Mom. No
yeah,
Man.
like, just putting that out there for someone who doesn't know, like, that random person who's just, like, clicking through.
Can we talk about how foxy fucking Peg Bundy is? Peg Bundy is a fox. Mm-hmm. She's probably like legit the best thing Al Bundy would ever be able to get his hands on, and he like regularly turns down sex with her. Yeah. I don't know. Like her clothing style like might be a little tacky. She might eat too many bonbons, but you know what? That girl like power walks from the neighborhood or something because she is fit. She is fine. She's got fucking a nice slim figure. She's got a booty. She's got some nice boobs. All right. She's a 10. Would you say that Peg Bundy's a 10? A Chicago 10?
Yeah. Let's say that.
Yeah, she's a Chicago. Like, I've seen some of those girls down at the nudie bar that Al, like, thinks are hot, but no girl. And you know what? That girl at the Van Pelt party that he, like, feels up, she's like a Chicago 6.
Yeah, like, here's the thing about Al. I feel like Peg nags him so much that he can't look past that.
He can't look past that. He just sees her as like an Oprah watching, bonbon eating, spandex wearing nag.
Yeah.
She's not like really that much of a nag. She just is like, she could do better. Like, she totally could do better.
Yeah.
Does Al have a big dick? Like, why does she stay with him?
Yeah, why? I don't know. I think neither of them know what to do. Neither of them have the drive to do better because they both feel stuck.
I feel like if Peg Bundy actually went to the grocery store or did like grocery shopping, she'd probably like bump into some like studly single man who's just like shopping and like for frozen dinners.
Yeah.
And they'll just like their carts will bump into each other. And Peg will be like, oh, like, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And then like he'll be like, oh, like, I'm sorry too. And then they'll just kind of like, they'll keep ending up in the same aisle.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they're in the back seat of his Grand Am making out. And
yeah.
I don't know, next thing you know, the Peg Bundy has a boy toy. Peg's got a boy toy.
Oh.
I don't know. Like, or would you think that like maybe like Marcy could have like set her up with like, I don't know, like maybe like a cute like mortgage man down at the bank?
I think Marcy liked having Peg as a friend because Marcy knew she was better than Peg. And it made Marcy feel better about herself.
Yeah, but in all fairness, Was Marcy better than Peg? No, she wasn't.
No.
Because if you think about it, Jefferson is the male Peg.
Like, you could probably sit Jefferson and Peg down on the couch and they watch the same stuff during the day.
Conspiracy corner. Do you think that Jefferson and Peg like ever had like an afternoon tryst like off camera?
No.
You don't?
No.
You don't think that like their bathrooms aligned with each other and like maybe like Peg was
Oh, I'm sure Peg tried.
You think Jefferson turned that down?
Yeah, I think Jefferson turned that down because of whatever had him with Marcy in the first place.
Marcy's got Jefferson misted.
Something, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We kind of like find out in like some like later seasons that like Marcy has like a kinky side to her. So
yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know. Like I don't know. She's got that pussy power. She can make that pussy pop.
Maybe. Who knows? Like,
or you know,
there had to be something.
Maybe Jefferson has a tiny penis and like he just feels like insecure like when he gets around like a super hot woman like Peg Bundy or anyone else.
Yeah.
He doesn't want them to learn his true secret, but maybe Marcy's only been with two men. Steve, who's like is a twerp. Let's be real, and Jefferson. So I don't know. Like she went for exterior only.
Maybe we'll never know. We'll never know because we never got closure.
Whoever's in charge of Married with Children, we need closure. We need closure, girl. All right, where are we in this episode? This hot episode of Married with Children?
So they're at the first dinner party. The lights go out. Al has grabbed a woman's breast. And oh, hey, guess what? The uncle's dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And for someone put a knife in Al's hand.
Yeah.
So they now think he's the murderer. And he, like, flees. He flees the scene. He runs back home. And he, like, confides in with, like, was it with Kelly and Bud, maybe?
Yeah, Kelly and Bud.
Like, trying to, like, figure out, like, what to do. Let's be real. Like, Kelly and Bud are shitty children. They have, like, no solution. Bud's like more concerned about this like hot chick that he finally like conned into coming over to go down to the basement with Grandmaster B.
Because that doesn't sound terrifying.
Kelly's Kelly.
Oh my god.
And then somehow Marcy gets wind of this. She comes over and she's like, "Oh, I heard that you're like being wanted for murder." She's like, "I'm gonna help you out, Al." Like she's like, "Here's a trench coat. Here's like a long cap. And here's some handcuffs." And she's like, "Come on, police guys, like he's in here." And the police come in. Al like takes off. He's like on foot. Now he's like running across Chicago, running across town. We get these like weird, like him running against like a green screen of like the city behind him.
Yeah.
Like
with like the old school like montage kind of thing.
Yeah, all right.
With just like the signs.
Like there were like three things that you could rely on for Married Children. Voiceovers with Buck the dog.
Yes.
Them running against like a weird green screen with like weird like fake backgrounds behind them, and like dummies falling off the roof. Or just like dummies being thrown around. Like they would always have like someone getting like thrown out of like a window and it's just like a fake limp dummy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes. No, I totally know what you're talking about. But hey.
And the audience yelling at the cast for like 5 minutes whenever like Al Bundy walked into a room.
Yeah.
Which we surprisingly don't get in this episode.
Shocking. Yeah.
I remember when I was...
But he didn't have his normal entrances either.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird episode. Maybe because like we didn't get the normal sets. Well, maybe because we got these like different sceneries.
We got a dream, so we didn't have him entering anywhere. We had him just popping into these places.
Yeah, like...
the way his subconscious would put him there.
When I was like 12 or 13 years old, like my dream in life was to be on like the Married Children audience. And I just wanted to like hoot and holler when Al walks in. I would just love when he would like come home and he would like walk in the door. The audience would go nuts. And he would sit there for like maybe like 15 seconds and just wait for the audience to simmer down. And then he would start to talk. And then like all of a sudden like one person in the audience would just go, "Wow!" Like later than everyone else, and he'd have to like stop and like start the line over.
I know. Oh my god.
All right.
I love TV shows filmed in front of real life audiences.
Yeah, so like the thing about Married Children is they would fill the episodes like a week before they aired.
Yeah, they cut it close.
Like the turnaround time in the show was like super fast, which is why you get scenes like Al walking in, the audience yells for like 20 seconds, and then they don't like do a retake because he's like laughing or he like waves or something or he smiles. He just like goes into the scene, and then he like might have to start over because someone else yells. Yeah. So great job. Okay, sorry for interrupting, but I had to throw that out there.
Okay, so Marcy tries to get him arrested. He goes on the run, and you get like the signs, like including the nudie bar. because of course. And can I just say this? I don't think I have ever interacted with a guy who actually calls it the nudie bar.
We used to like just call it the nudie bar just because of the Bundys. Like we were like we had like Foxy Lady, and we'd be like, "Want to go to the nudie bar this weekend?"
Yeah, like
all right, we'll go to the nudie bar.
It's weird. Like we have strip clubs here. Don't get me wrong, they exist, but like nobody talks about. At least like they don't talk about it with me, except for like maybe my friend who works there.
But the nudie bar was like always like a special occasion because they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah,
and I don't know how like Al could afford going there like every week. Like how the fuck could he, like was he just blowing all his money at the nudie bar?
Yeah, probably. That's probably why Peg was so pissy.
That's why
like, okay, he had to have made some money at the damn shoe store.
Do you think he like secretly like made more than he like led Peg on to believe? And he had like a secret bank account that he didn't like tell her about?
Oh, totally. Oh, I bet 100%.
Like he had like
Al was hiding money.
He had like the account in their name, and he would put like 50% of the money in there, and then Peg would like blow it all in like QVC.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Al had like his like private stash where he would actually enjoy life,
or could actually like pay for car insurance or whatever.
And I love that like they're supposed to be like this like super poor family, but they have like a 2-floor house that has at least 3 bedrooms and a basement,
like,
and like a pretty sizable like living room.
I mean, okay, to be fair, they probably bought the house in what, the early 70s, late 60s?
70s, 80s maybe.
Early 70s. So it was like way cheaper to buy a house back then.
That is true. And maybe like being
like way cheaper.
Maybe being a shoe salesman was like a hot job back then, because I feel like if you watch like old sitcoms from like the 60s, like you had like the store keep, like you had like Andy Griffith would go down to the shoe store, and it's like the shoe man in town.
Yeah.
So it was probably like a hot job back then.
So yeah, it was probably like a decent job. The pay was decent. And before inflation and everything, you probably could support a family on that pay.
Yeah, he was able to afford a brand new Dodge, like a 1977 Dodge.
I mean, like, okay, we are both probably about the age, let's be real, that Al and Peg are at the start of the series.
Yeah, I was thinking about, when I was watching this the other day, I was trying to figure out, like, Al and Peg in this episode are probably like late 30s, maybe early 40s.
And we are both adults, and we cannot afford to live on our own. Like, you have a roommate, I live with family.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell? And we don't have like retail jobs. We have like
legitimate jobs.
Legit jobs, yeah.
But like, I'm like a few dollars away. Like, I make like $2 more. Like, I should just work at McDonald's, because it's like it would just be like a little bit less. It's just like less stress.
Like, yeah, same. It's like
I'm like $1 and change away from flipping burgers.
Same.
But like Al's like the manager too, like at the shoe store. Like he's got,
yeah.
Like Griff at the shoe store is like the clerk, and Al's like in charge.
Yeah, Griff is probably making like the minimum wage. Which, okay, hold on, let's do this. This is gonna blow your fucking mind.
Like 1991 minimum wage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like $5.60.
Okay. The minimum wage was raised to $3.80 an hour beginning April 1st, 1990, and to $4.25 an hour beginning April 1st, 1991.
What?
$4.25 an hour.
So Griff made probably like $4.25 an hour, and I bet you Al made like at least $6, maybe like $6.50. I'd say he'd make a little bit more. He was a key holder. He had a little bit more responsibility.
He'd been there for a long time.
Yeah, he had the seniority, the tenure. Maybe he got like that 25-cent like a year raise by Gary from Gary Shoes.
Yeah.
And shout out to Gary from Gary Shoes being a woman, by the way.
Yes.
Hot scoop. Spoiler alert, Gary's a woman.
Oh my God, $4.25 an hour. Holy shit.
So Peg doesn't work.
Yeah.
So he definitely, like, Al definitely has to have like 2 bank accounts, and he's forking away a little bit. He's making a little stash. Maybe gets like an extra like 20, 30 a week. He goes to like he probably goes to like dollar draft night at the nudie bar, or it's like Thursday nights or dollar draft night is like college night.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. They want to draw in the college crowd. and he's just buying his dollar drafts, and I don't know. He's probably not paying for lap dances. He's just throwing
Yeah, he's just throwing a couple singles out here and there.
Yeah, it's like they had like the C-listers there that night. It's not like the hot chicks.
It's like the new girls.
Yeah, it's like the new girls, like Brandy with the 2 teeth, maybe.
And maybe like if they do like really good this night, they can open on another night or whatever, how it works. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly where they live in Chicago, but Chicago's got some pretty like dank neighborhoods too. So
yeah,
I don't know exactly where they live, but and you know what? There's always like the nice nudie bar. There's like Scores. Then there's like the shitty one that no one goes. The shitty one that there's like murders in the parking lot at.
Yeah, that's probably the one Al's at. Let's be real.
Let's be real. Yeah, like at least once a week, there's a body found in the dumpster out behind there. There's like a mob hit nearby.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I gotta stop reading this. This makes me depressed.
Right, so that was Financial Breakdown with Kat Halstead. We got to learn.
Yeah, I'm really depressed right there.
That was our Susie Orman corner.
Oh my god.
All right. What do you think Susie Orman would say to Al Bundy?
No! You should not be spending money on the nudie bar.
You should not be going to the nudie bar. You need to open up like a Christmas club down at Marcy's Bank. Do you think Al goes to Marcy's Bank?
He does.
Oh yeah, there is an episode where he goes there, I think, right?
Yeah, like there's the one where he goes there and he gets robbed or something.
Oh.
And he and Marcy are stuck in this holdup together.
That's right. We get a good like bottle episode where Marcy and Al are stuck together.
Yep.
All right. So do you think Al has a secret bank account at Marcy's bank? Because I feel like Marcy would tell Peg. Like even though it's like that like banker's confidentiality thing, I feel like Marcy's like friendship with Peg is like more important than like confidentiality with Al.
I feel like she might not realize he has two.
Oh. Like she never...
Because he's probably like smart enough not to deal with her.
Oh, he goes over to like whatever.
And what is she going to do? Look up Al in the system?
And this is like 1991. They don't have like the cool like cross, like the, you know, like you can just like, all you have to do is like type in Al Bundy's name. They probably use like cards. It's like a card catalog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a little punch card system.
Exactly. It's like, okay, Al Bundy, deposit. Like, oh my god, I can't even imagine how you would keep track of all that stuff back then.
The bank book. You didn't have a bank book?
No, yeah, the little passbook. But like, I mean, how did the bank keep track of it too? Like,
all right.
Like, just think of all the paper that was used to keep track of all this stuff.
So like, you want to hear some bank secrets? Because I used to work at a bank.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So like, it must have been like 2006 or 7-ish when I worked at a bank. And this was like that like last like year or two where they still like use like the passbooks.
Uh-huh.
They were like, our bank was like seriously trying to phase them out, but there was like still a few customers that had them, and they kind of let them like keep them for a few more years. But every now and then we would like run into that one customer that would just like find like an old passbook that was like tucked away in a drawer.
Uh-huh.
You know, like people would like lose their passbooks and they would like go to the bank and get a new one, but they would forget. So like 10 years later, they would find this like, oh, I found this old passbook and it says I have like $800 in here. And we would look up the count and we'd be like, no, you only have like 50 cents. And they'd be like, but my book says I have $800. And so I have to have $800. And like you would have to like try to explain to them that, well, just because the book says it, it might not seem to. And they're like, I want my accountant for like the last 15 years. And we're like, all right. And like they'd have to like go into like research. And they're like, all right, but you got to get this chart just like research fee. It's going to be like $5 an hour. And they're like, well, how many hours is it going to take? And we're like, well, this bank passbook goes back to like 1987. And we only keep like records in like the vault for like the last 10 years. So we're going to have to go back to like the archives. So it might take like 10 to 15 hours, and they would like freak out and be like, I'm calling my lawyer. I'm like, all right, call your lawyer. So yeah, passbooks are like a wild, convoluted system just for that reason.
Yeah.
So we totally like urge people to do away with them just like for that reason alone, because like at least once a day, we would get someone that came in and like that found like their mom's old passbook from like the 70s, and they thought like, oh my God, I have millions of dollars. And it's like, no, she closes the account, but just like didn't give the book back.
Yeah, like she just had the book. Doesn't mean she like still has the account.
Yeah, that's like the people that
Actually, I might still have an account with a bank in New Jersey.
If you don't like use an account for like a certain amount of years, like it gets like written off to the state. So
yeah,
you probably have like money. You probably have like $20 like with the state of New Jersey, and your name's on a list.
Hey,
add it to the list, Kat. Add it to the list to check New Jersey. All right, that was our bank corner. So what happens next with Al? Shall we wrap it up?
Okay, so Al goes back to this mansion and he gathers, like, the suspects, right?
Yeah, he calls everyone together, the whole clan, the whole Van Pelt clan.
Mm-hmm.
He really has, like, no dick skills at all.
Like, none at all. He doesn't know anything. This is just not a good thing.
He's just playing, like, a total guessing game. Like, I think you're the murderer because you gave me that dirty look when the lights came back on. And they're like, no, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then he goes through the whole family, and they're all just kind of, like, doubting him. And he's like, well, there's only one way to do this. He's like, I'm going to shut off the lights.
Yeah.
And he shuts off the lights, and you hear that, like, one Van Pelt girl, like, scream, like, my breasts! And he flicks the lights back on, and they were like, what did that have to do anything? And he's like, no reason.
He's like, I just felt like it.
So he goes through the whole family, and he comes to Traci Lords' character at the end, and something clicks in him. Because at the beginning of the episode, he makes a comment to Traci Lords' character. He says, like, she's a fine woman who dresses like $1 million except for her shoes. She's got cheap pumps.
Yeah.
It dawns on Al. He's like, wait a second. The night that the murder took place, it was raining. And Traci Lords' character said it couldn't have been her because she was outside. Mm-hmm. I don't know, she was like walking up the walkway or something, and it was raining. And Al's like, wait a second, you're wearing the same pumps right now that you wore the night you came into my office. I may not be the best private detective in town, but there's one thing I know, and it's shoes. And those are knockoffs.
Yeah.
He's like, they're cheap material. And I know that as soon as they get wet, they fall apart. And he takes the shoes and he drops it in like a fish tank. And he pulls them out like a second later, and the shoe just like falls apart. And he's like,
exactly.
There's no way you were in the rain, Traci Lords. There's no way in your rain, because those shoes would have fallen apart. And she's like, fine, I did the murder. I killed my uncle. I didn't want him to give the money to the museum and like save the orphanage and all that stuff. She's like, I wanted the money for myself, and I would just kill that old bastard. And the cops roll in, they arrest her, and the cops are like, well, you know, we're gonna give you this like $50,000 reward for like saving the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And that's when he wakes up, and he's laying in bed with Peg, and he's like, oh,
he's back in bed with Peg, and everything's just like, wait, something's not right here.
He's talking about the $50,000, and Peg's like, no, if you had $50,000, I would know about it. And he's like, wait, hold on, kids come in the room. So he calls Kelly and Bud in the room, and he's like asking them questions. He's like,
yeah,
did you send me on the run today? Like, did you see me run out of the house because I was accused of murder? And they were like, no.
She's like, what are you talking about, dude?
And then he's like, wait a second, Peg, are you pregnant? And she's like, no. And that was like the call. He's like, what are you talking about? So that was like him waking up out of this like 10, 11, 12 fantasy sequence of Peg and Marcy being pregnant. And then he says like a throwaway line to Bud about, he's like, do you have an alter ego called Grandmaster B in which you're a rapper?
Yeah, and Bud's like, I like that though.
And then we get like another string of episodes of him as Grandmaster B, so Ooga.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah, thanks, Al. And Al goes back into bed. He's $50,000 less richer. Him and Peg have a reconciliation. They're like, well, I guess we still get each other at the end of the day. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? And Al and Peg are like,
yeah.
Let's order pizza. And they start like giggling. and scene.
Yeah.
And that's Married with Children. Episode...
It is.
11, season 6. Al Bundy Shoe Dick. A fun episode. Not the best episode, but a fun episode.
Yes, it sure did. I mean, the show went on. This is 1991, right?
Yes.
That we did?
There's 11 seasons, so this is season 6, so we still got like 5 more years of the show.
5 more seasons to go.
This is before the Bundys went to England.
Yeah.
This is way before Seven came into play, the character of Seven, like
that weird kid who was basically their cousin Oliver.
Yep. This is way before Al formed No Ma'am.
Yeah.
Like this is before like a lot of monumental things, so like we're about halfway in the show's run here. And great times. That's all I had to say. Great times.
Yes.
After I watched this episode, I just wanted to watch like 18 more episodes of Married with Children. And I might today. I might actually watch like...
Yeah, like it's so easy now because, okay, when we decided to do this episode, the only place we could find the episodes online was either Crackle, where they're like not really edited, like the whole episode. They're like minisodes sometimes. And Crackle's just not like...
And they don't have like all the seasons.
Yeah.
They do like select episodes.
And Crackle's just not like a good video service.
Yeah, that's why it's free.
Like when you get down to it. It's just not.
And Then I think like we originally found it on like Daily Motion, but it was like a weird, like shitty, like ripped from like a VHS tape.
Yeah, it was like not a good version. So we like went to Amazon and like I rented the episode off Amazon the first time I watched it and watched it on my Kindle. And then the other day,
all of a sudden you sent me like a hot text in the middle of the night. It's like 4 a.m. and it's like, Married Children's on Hulu, and it was like boners everywhere. It was like the eggplant emoji.
I like get a message from Ryan. Hey Ryan, and it's like, hey, guess what? Hulu has Married with Children. I'm like, you're shitting me because we are doing an episode of Married with Children next.
Yes, and I totally went through and I like was cherry picking and I was like making a playlist of like Married with Children episodes that I want to watch. I get the day off, girl, so I might just be hanging out with the Bundys. Who knows? We'll definitely have to visit them again. We'll definitely have to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Many more times. Maybe we'll do the episode where Sam Kinison is like the Al's guardian angel or something. It's a bunny for life.
Yeah, he's the It's a Wonderful Life kind of thing. Yeah,
or maybe we'll do the Halloween episode where Al like says he wishes he was dead again. It's like kind of like the same thing, but it's like a Halloween version of it. Maybe we'll do the episode where like a twister comes into town and like blows away the Bundy house. Maybe we'll do that one. Yeah, so there's lots of fun episodes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, ooga. So shout out to the Bundys and great times with Ed O'Neill, Katie Segal, David Faustina, where are you today?
Yeah.
Christina Applegate.
Oh, hey, I have money in the state of Colorado I can claim.
You have what?
I have money I can claim in the state of Colorado.
There you go, girl. There you go. So you learned something today.
Yeah.
You learned you have money in the state of Colorado. It's probably like $6.
Yeah, probably like 45.
You know what you can buy with $45?
What?
A record player from Amazon.com.
Yeah, okay.
What are we doing next week, girl? Do you have the list up?
I don't have the list. I don't know where my purse is.
I got it.
And my planner is in my purse.
I got it. I think we're gonna have some excited fans out there. We're gonna revisit a show that we did earlier in the year, or actually the end of last year. And this might be another prequel to our spin-off series.
Oh.
Set the tone.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're staying in Chicago. We're keeping it classy. We're gonna stay in Chicago. We're gonna do another episode of ER. We're going back to the emergency room. They're gonna get wild. We're gonna hang with George Clooney. We're gonna hang with Anthony Edwards and Juliana Margulies. So yeah, we're gonna do an episode called Free Fall. I think it's a Thanksgiving one, right?
I believe so, and I don't think any of those actors you just mentioned are on the show at this point.
We'll definitely talk about them though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Getting all gobble on y'all. We're doing only Thanksgiving episodes. We get some exciting things coming. Yeah, I can't wait for the next 10 episodes. They're going to be like fun ass episodes. So Get ready, girls. Get ready. Then after that, we get some stuff coming at you in January. Wild times for us here at Salty Rock Meter. Where can you follow us, Kat Halstead, the author? Where can you follow our wacky adventures?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at A Very Special Podcast. Same for Tumblr. You can find us online at averyspecialpodcast.com or saltyrockmedia.com. You can search for us on YouTube because we are not there yet where they will let us make a channel name.
Yeah, so we're there. We're here, and we're staying.
We're back on YouTube, guys.
Yeah, we're back on YouTube.
We're not going to take us down this time.
Yeah,
I promise.
We're doing it, girl. We're doing it. And you know, we got a few fun comments on YouTube, too, and a few likes. So shout out to us. Go Team Katie Pets.
And we're putting, like, really random stuff up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're doing, like, side projects. We got Watch with Kat. We got Kat, like, opening up things that she bought from Target.
Dollar Tree purchases and... yeah, like there's just all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna get some fun things. You're gonna get records that I bought. So shout out to the future. And as always,
bye.
Watch the skies for a fallen dummy because Griff is like putting up Christmas lights on the Bundy roof. So watch out for that.
I don't even know anymore.